Hi, welcome. Today's question is, what are your best qualities? So today's question is, what are your best qualities? So can you list 10 of your best qualities? Like, just while you're standing here in the next 3 seconds, just list off 10 of your best qualities. Or do you start to kind of take a breath and kind of intuitively tap into what's one of your best qualities and then kind of go, oh, I don't know if I want to put that out there. Because it's important that we express who we are from our own selves, like from actually the way that we are constructed and brought into this world, rather than the way that we perceive that we should be putting ourselves across in this world. I mean, part of the research and the reason I was doing the dissertation on different ways of knowing and evolving women's ways of knowing is because most of the world, and particularly the competitive structure, is very much been built from a male point of view. It's been built in terms of masculine energy, which is nothing wrong with that because it gets things done, it gets things moving forward. But women work in a very different way. We work in a more circular way, and our way of knowing may be more subjective. And so part of the research that I was looking at was very much saying, well, what goes unrecognised and may go undervalued outside of the education system or within women that is actually valuable, that's needed for the next generation, because with technology, the way the world is changing, our resilience, our ability to be intuitive, to adapt, to be able to work with different people is going to become more important. So knowing our best qualities, aligning to our uniqueness is an important attribute to be able to move forward, whether that's in our personal lives or our professional lives or in the businesses that we establish. And what happens in life is when we get born, we kind of come into the world and we've got all of these like innate abilities to tap into energy, to tap into the world around us. We don't speak for a number of years. Well, I didn't anyway. We start to feel into things. We're a lot more empathic. But as we move through life, we have experiences. We get influenced by our family. We get influenced by our culture. We can be influenced by the generations that have gone before us in the way that we do things. And so sometimes we can stop to express our love because our qualities are love. How we genuinely come across to somebody might end up in situations where we've come up against walls or we've come up against challenges and we haven't been given the tools to really look at the aspects of those qualities and see that the way they were received may have been received negatively. Actually, that's a challenge, but we were too young to understand that, and maybe the person in front of us had their own stuff going on. And so it's not till we really mature into our 20s, we're not psychologically grown till we're in our mid-20s, into our 30s, when we can start to kind of go, oh, now I understand. That's something I loved to do. That was something that really made me feel good. But I went down this track because of X, Y, and Z. And so we start to kind of hide our inner qualities. We start to hide our best qualities because we want to maybe stay with our peers, or we want to have a need met that wasn't met in childhood, and this is the way that it worked, but it's no longer working for us. So part of this challenge is recognizing where we are consciously knowing that we are expressing our known best qualities, and starting to become conscious of where we might be hiding some of our best qualities because of experiences or fears, whether personally or down the generations, and we're holding them back, and that is kind of taking up energy. And that could be for a number of reasons. We could have felt rejected, humiliated. My research really showed, which is generally showed in in most research, for women it's fear of ridicule, fear of being able to get finance, not being able to financially look after themselves. So we may not go down those tracks or pursue economic ideas or social ideas because we may not feel that we're going to survive if we go down that path. And I genuinely have felt that way about many things in terms of my business, in terms of my studies. I mean, I was quite lucky. When I first went to university, I ended up doing something that I really enjoyed and I made a work in it. But then other situations, I would take different paths off to what I really enjoyed doing and not really aligning to what I was just naturally able to do. So give an example of that. I'm very intuitive. I sometimes know things. It just kind of big picture makes sense to me. Where many of the colleagues that I worked with over the years were very much academically minded. Now I am academically minded. I do write. I write an awful lot. I just have a different way of how my brain evolves, and it was something that I used to keep hidden. I would work very, very hard and overwork to want to present information that was going to fit in with everybody else so I wouldn't get noticed. I wouldn't want to put myself center stage. I used to teach other people what I wanted them to say, and then I would take a step back and just hope that they said exactly what I would have wanted them to say, and half the time people would be looking at me in the room. And that came down to a fear of being center stage, a fear of being successful. It was a fear of ridicule. It was a fear of rejection and humiliation. And it wasn't until I really started doing the training, excuse, they're coming for the bins, but I can't do anything about them outside. It wasn't until I started doing the training work in 2015 when really, if I didn't work, I didn't suddenly stand into one of my best qualities, which is actually standing up and speaking to people and talking to them and communication instead of going behind other people, and also embracing more and more intuitiveness, just kind of going, that's the way it works. That's the way I'm going to go off, and starting to see how that builds and starting to own it. Most of the time we will receive what we give, and we don't have to go out and tell the whole world straight away. We can start small. We can get used to nurturing our best qualities by ourselves. Definitely on this journey with my intuition, I didn't tell anybody I was doing study in that or that I was working with somebody. I just very quietly went off and found a teacher and started working with her, because I knew that I couldn't ignore my best qualities anymore. And at the time it didn't seem like a quality. So that's another thing to check in. Does it feel like a quality, or does it feel like a burden? And maybe that burden or the experience of that rejection, humiliation, by moving through it, you will actually see that there is gold in that is a genuine quality of yours to show your resilience, your determination, your ability to adjust to situations. And that, at the end of the day, if people feel inhibited to put somebody else down, that says more about them than it says about you. So our invitation for today is to, really tap in to writing down the 10 best qualities of yourself and acknowledging those things that you may feel are burdens or that they're not qualities of yours, and really delve into them. Are they not qualities, or are they something where if you really worked at them and moved through them, they would be a quality, but there might be a fear of rejection or humiliation around that? And just start to recognize the journey, recognize some of the challenges that arise, because when we tap into doing things that we really love, we start to attract more love, we start to receive more love, we start to move in directions where it feels easier, where it feels more comfortable, where the challenges come up, there's more solutions around. We don't feel so much resistance or so much struggling. And then when we start to move into that, the law of attraction then starts to set in, and we start to be able to meet our needs and our wants and our desires from where we are. And this is also, as women, because this is very much for women, I know men watch it as well, but this is, can apply as well, because there's no difference in male and female energy. But this is also recognizing that no one person is the same. Everybody has a unique journey. Everybody is part of this big puzzle that we are not quite clear where it started and where it's going to end, and it's not really our job to understand that. What's our job is to experience who we are in this moment. It's to experience our life and to be curious about how we've come about, our intersection between maybe our class, our culture, our gender. These all play a factor into where we are, not just in our present moment, but also generationally as well. So some of our qualities have been developed over long periods of time. So it's better to express ourselves fully from where we know that we are, and to start to move with that, because otherwise we can start to feel stuck. So if you do feel stuck, tap back into what is it that you are trying to hold on to. Where are you trying to do something that is not working? And just be curious about why you're trying so hard to achieve something that's not coming in. Or if you're working with an energy or working in a situation where it doesn't seem to be manifesting, but on a deeper level, it's opening you up. That's okay. That's not being stuck. That's moving through something, and it's just widening your perception to that things always don't come as we perceive them to be coming in. But there might be something else going on as well. So that's really all I have for you today. Remember, the first person one leads is oneself, mind, body and spirit. There is a short survey to complete if you would like to, which would help me understand a bit more about what kind of content I can put out on this group and in the channels. And additionally, that's really all I have for you. I don't know why I'm saying additionally. Just remember, the first person one leads is oneself, mind, body and spirit. My name's Viv Bannigan. I'm the owner of Granuaile Limited, a bespoke training and mentoring company based here in the heart of London. And I support women who are feeling overwhelmed, lacking confidence, confused about the next step in their journey, and they're seeking to understand their personal landscape and their unique landscape so they can build a vision for their future. And we do that by sharing with them our key framework called the MAP, which works through mastery, action and passion. If you'd like to know more, please do contact us. Till then, have a great day, and I'll talk to you on Thursday.